Hello, 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 you guys. This is Lady K with Lady K Motivates, where we encourage you to execute now and live a purpose driven life. I am so excited on tonight. The series Becoming an Asset is coming to a close. This is the finale night, and I am just this was placed on my heart by God Demand. I'm so grateful for each of my guests on tonight that have been with me the whole entire month. I have Lee. I have Lee from Lee Creates. I have Lisa from I&J Associates. I have DeAndre coming on, and I think Allison might be coming on a little later. But I just thank God for all of you panelists. Each of us have our different perspectives. Each of us have our different insight into a thing based on situations that we've been through, and situations that we have um, seen others go through. So tonight, we will summarize the conversation of becoming an asset, talking about credit and home ownership, and how to keep becoming. I think that we'll end it on that, because you can never stop growing and glowing. I truly believe that as we get older as women and men, that learning never stops, learning yourself never stops, and learning your craft never stops. So I want us to take a moment for each one to tag and share. I don't My internet is messing up, y'all, so forgive me. We are running late tonight, but I'm just so grateful for the people that have stood in there. We want to get the word out about this, because this conversation is just so needed. A lot of people don't know who they are, where they're going, and have no clue of what they're doing. So, how to be an asset, how to be intentional is a so much needed conversation. In the beginning of the month, we topped off the conversation talking about what an asset is, and an asset is just obtaining something. An asset can be a car, a home. An asset can be a good attitude. An asset can have good having good morale. An asset can be a leader's, a winner's attitude. An asset can be like I said, a house, a car. An asset can be anything that you can hold on to past 5 years. Okay. Um, that's what an asset is. And you want to be an asset. You want to have acquisition, because your life is more than about you. Your life, you have children coming behind you. You have uh their children coming behind you, and their children. So we are here. We understand that we're here to leave an imprint on the earth. We were talking about earlier this month about how it is to be an asset to our families, how we want to make sure that we have high paying careers, how we want to do the best we could do when we work, do the best we could do at church, being an asset to our church family, being an asset as a business owner. We want to be around bosses, like minded individuals. It's a quote that says, "Birds of a feather flock together." So I just want to ask you, who are you flocking with? Are they doing something, or are they not doing something? Because stagnation is a disease. Okay. Stagnation is definitely a disease, and I don't want to be around anybody that's being still and not being busy doing things that they need to do to get to their next level. We also talked about being an asset to, let's say, home, family. What else, ladies?
Your church?
To your church as your pastor, being an asset that way, with cleaning the church, by paying your tithes, by going where the pastor goes to preach, because he's used to those familiar faces, and in the building when he has to exegete the word. We also talked about just having a good name, and that brings us to this last conversation of uh being an asset. To really be an asset to yourself, you have to go into the mindset of, I need acquisition, so I need good credit. I want to eventually be a homeowner. I'm giving all this money to the landlord. Yes, it's so convenient for them to mow my grass. Yes, it's so convenient for them to fix my air conditioning when it breaks. Yes, that's all so convenient. But me doing it on my own leaves something for people behind me. Like I said, my children's children. So I just want to go ahead and start the conversation and kind of talk a little bit about you need to start preparing to have good credit. Earlier this month, we talked about the mind, and you have to get out of a buy here, pay here mindset. Okay. Aaron's Renter Center mindset. They charge so much interest, and at the end of the day, you still lose. Okay. So you have to get into a mindset that, listen, I've been overpaying so much for so many things. It's quality over quantity. That same item you buy in Renter Center for $3,000 is $1,000 somewhere else. So you start seeing that when you talk about your credit and you go in and you get a car for 21% interest rate when you could have got it for a 3% interest rate, because credit matters. So it's time for us to really get out of the 3, 4s, and 5s and get into the 6, 7s, and 8. And it's like, how do you do that? You have to start somewhere. You have to talk to people that are like-minded, that are trying to establish credit, trying to get them a maybe a secure credit card where you have to put 300, or you have to use your own money to do that, and different little other things. So can any body else on the panel tell the guests what are y'all doing to keep your credit right, or how have you started, or where you're at with it, and how important it is to you? Because some people, they not even thinking about credit, they don't care, you know. So if one of you all can give me a little insight on how you feel about it, and when you knew that you had to make a move to pursue good credit.
Well, I recently just purchased a vehicle, and my credit isn't the best, but I know that having what are those reoccurring accounts?
Mm-hmm.
Those can help boost your credit score. I also got a secured credit card. Like you said, you have to use your own money, but that also helps with getting, I guess, points from TransUnion, and what's the other one? Equifax.
Yes, an experience.
And Experian, yes. So just basically paying on time, paying early. Those are big in trying to boost your credit score. And again, those reoccurring accounts, that's important. Anything that reports to those three entities, that will definitely help your credit. I'm 37 right now, and I can't go and ask mom and dad for help or ask for a cosigner. So it's just time to, leave the nest and be on your own. You wanna bring something to the table. I think we talked about relationships and being with a partner. So you want to make sure that you're bringing something to the table versus relying on somebody else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Lisa, you want to say something?
So I'm not going to talk about me personally, but I'm going to give y'all like 3 little tidbits that I know of to talk about credit. One, if you don't have any credit, one thing you can do to boost your credit is get a trade line. Okay? Trade line. Go get you a trade line. That means you're getting off on somebody else's credit. So you don't have no credit, go get you a trade line. Secure cards are great, but if you know you're not good with credit cards, just go get you a trade line. It'll get you the same place at the same time. 2, always go back and check your credit. Go check your credit. All three spots, because not all of them are going to report the same thing. Clean it up. Lady, I believe Lady K can help you clean your business credit up.
She can.
Um, so clean it up. And then my third point would be to what I was gonna say, trade line, clean your credit up. And so let's say you do have a credit card, make 2 payments a month. That will boost your credit score.
Or pay
Okay.
it.
Make one payment 15 days before it's due, and then make another payment 3 days before it's due. You'll see a very increase in your credit. Okay. That's my tidbit. And that was free of charge. I normally charge people for that.
You said the 15th?
15 days before it's due, and then 3 days before it's due.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so me, when a year before my son was going into college, I did my son a trade line, and I just simply added him on my credit card as an authorized user. That's the quickest way to do a trade line, the legal way, instead of paying these other people $750, 900. I mean, I'm not hating on, but it's something you could really do for free to go ahead and put your child or that other person in a good driver's seat. Dee, do you have anything to say concerning your journey with credit?
Hey, ladies, I
Hey.
agree totally with what y'all are saying about the credit. And I will also say have Credit Karma and have your credit apps on your phone. I check my credit every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning I check my credit. I make sure I pay stuff on time. And I don't believe I've just got this year, just got my first credit card. I didn't have a credit card and never. I just, kind of got one. My husband actually got one first, and then I stepped out and got my own. But because I became obsessed with my credit, I have been like on it and
Mm-hmm.
helping my clients, with the building their business credit. So that is very important because sometimes for your business, you can use your business credit so you won't have to touch your personal credit. I believe in that. I just bought a van for my company a few months ago, and I was able to use my business credit. I just opened up a Quill account as well to help my business credit. At first, the first time you have to pay for it, and then after that, they'll bill you monthly for the supplies. Excuse me, that you need. I also just got a fuel line credit fuel card for my company as well so that we can get gas and we pay that monthly, as well as me and my husband we did the tire one as well, for our company vehicle, my car, his car, and a few other people that's in our company. So you must, I think that that's something that black business owners don't really take care of. They try to put everything, oh, let me use my credit, let me use my credit. We don't take advantage of the business credit because in reality that is how um other race build their credit, because they use their credit. For example, when it came to the PPP, people, we didn't have the knowledge that we needed as black people, because we were too ignorant when it came to money. But a company that I actually know, one of my mentors, he owns half of Camden County. He got a PPP. Then he got a PPP for one business, PPP for the other business, but he made it work. He made it work for his business. So that is another thing that we have to take advantage of just being smart with our business decisions when it comes to our business credit. When it comes to the government giving us money to
Mm-hmm.
run businesses, we just run it properly. That's what I have to say.
Right. And you talked about the business credit, but a lot of people didn't know, and I really didn't know till maybe a year or so about vendor accounts,
Mm-hmm.
um, about different vendor accounts. You have like Lee does hair, so she can get a vendor account
Mm-hmm.
business name with I don't know, Sally's or Mo
Mm-hmm.
whoever. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, Lisa does taxes, so she can get an account with Drake or whoever to make sure that she's getting those business credentials with a Duns and Broad Street number and all of that, and that's a whole nother conversation. But you know, credit matters, and like you
Mhm.
said, Didi, you have to get to the point that you become obsessed with it. Like you want to, you are pushing towards this goal.
Mhm.
So you are in anticipation of seeing a 6 or 7 or 8 on your credit score. You have
Mhm.
to, like, Credit Karma, they say it's a difference of like 15 to 20 points. Sometimes
Mhm.
sometimes shaky,
It
but
did.
it gives you a ball figure. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you want an exact figure, you can go to Identity IQ, and it gives you all three side by side, and it's the exact figures that the bank sees. Um,
Mhm.
it's real cutthroat and real
Mhm.
friendly. Yes, I do credit, but listen, I am not set. Y'all know when I put out a product, I do stuff in the spirit of excellence. I just got my merchant account, okay, to have my people pay and have them on a reoccurring system because I'm tired of hunting people down
Yes.
about payments and doing invoices. So I have a system that sends all of that stuff out. So I'll be going live with that soon. Um, but credit matters, you guys, to be an asset
Mhm.
to your family, to be an asset to your children, your church, and your man. We all want a man, but you want him to have good credit and you to have bad credit. I don't understand.
And and the thing about that is, I'm going to say this. The thing about that is, my husband had better credit than I when we got married. But you have to set goals and boundaries and say, you know what I mean? Like today I made a big purchase um on my own, and it was without my husband. And when the lady pulled my credit, she was like, "You got really good credit," and it made me feel good because I'm like, "Yeah, sis, what you thought?" So that just makes you, that just makes you want to keep on pushing and take care of your business and take care of your business on time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can all say we're CEO, we can all say we're bosses, but what do you have to show for that? I can walk around all day and say I'm a CEO, but do I have a CEO mentality when it comes to credit, when it comes to handling my business? Just when I'm walking around here saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the CEO." I like to see when someone tell me there's something, I want to see, the fruit. What you doing? You can't just be a CEO. You got to be a CEO making things happen, and that's just what you got to do when it comes to credit. When it comes to a relationship, I really believe that you don't want to be married to someone and everything always got to go in their name. No, that ain't cool. So yeah, I'm just saying to all of our viewers or whatever, get your weight up. If you want to be somebody's wife, get your weight up. Cause no man don't want no woman that just, like I told y'all before, when I married my husband, I had my own house. All he had to do was just bring a few furniture pieces, but I had my own house. So you want to have your weight up.
Right, right, exactly. And I was talking about earlier on the previous show where I got muted off, where I was muted off of. It's one thing to live a mogul lifestyle or a life of leadership, but it's another thing to be flogging and have all the stuff, all the designer stuff on. All the luxury cars, you have no garage to park them in. You're on an air mattress. That's not what we're doing. To get to this level of credit of acquisition and having your credit right and your life halfway right and you're becoming, you have to get in a mindset of it is a process. This is absolutely not gonna happen overnight. I wish I could just dream a genie
Mm-hmm.
and it happened. But I'm telling you, these people, they tell you I can fix your credit in a month and da da da. That's a lie. It took me almost a year and a half to get my credit in the 700s. Okay. It took time. And sometimes I had to max out cards and come back down and get, because you're still dealing with life and children and emergencies happen.
True.
But
Mm-hmm.
it takes time. That stuff about the 30 and 60 days. Y'all kidding me. That stuff will fall off and it'll
Yep.
be right back on.
Yep. and nothing is going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? Like Lana said, you can't wake up and say, "Oh, in the morning, I'm going 3 weeks with perfect credit." No, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. And like for instance, when we hired our credit repairman, I was like, ain't nothing going on with my credit. And then Craig was like, "It's going to take time," but eventually, I started seeing, you know, what he was doing, the work he was doing. And it takes time and it takes discipline, because everybody don't have discipline. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie, if I had a Macy's card in the sale they got going on right now, I'd be swiping because it's school time. But and this goes also back to being a single mom, is that we are used to, like Kalana said, getting it in the muscle, taking care of those children by any means necessary. So what that means is, if I gotta max out my card this week to make sure my child have school clothes, that's the mindset. But you have to change the mindset and say, you know what? I know school starts in August, so let me start putting some back. So that I can, you know.
Right. And that's the whole thing. Getting obsessed with just being having good credit, being obsessed with being a good person of more value and having a balanced life. And that's what all this panel is about. That's what all of this show for this month is about. What are you bringing to the table as an asset, and an asset of your own, to live a purpose driven life? And that's the bottom line. And then when we talk about home ownership, that's a whole nother journey. And that journey, it doesn't take as long as the credit journey, but that's a whole nother journey itself. And Lisa she went through it a few times. I'm in the process of going through it. Dee has been through it, and Lee is in the process. Okay, you in the process. So we're just excited of becoming. And like I said, this is our finale show, but you're always becoming. You should always be becoming. You should always more of your craft. On mute. You should always be learning more of your craft. You should always be excited about what's next, and always be purposeful and intentional. I really just want to wrap it up with this, because acquisition is lifelong. You can always, your mindset should just be, I'm working on my legacy. I'm working on generational wealth. I'm working on having something for the people behind me. In closing, do any of y'all want to say anything?
Well, I want to thank you, Lady K, for allowing me to come on. It's been a great month of July with you, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lee, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but my mic was muted. But going back to what you said about or you're always gonna be becoming, and I believe that we should also take courses as far as personal development and continuing education. That is a big key into being marketable to different target markets, and also just staying ahead of the game, and trying to figure out, like, this new generation, the people that we are serving. And I always go back to hair and makeup because that's what I do. But there's trends that are coming out daily. So in order for me to continue, to do what I do, I have to be up on my game. So I'm looking forward to taking a workshop on hair braiding. Yes, I know how to braid, but there's so many different styles, so many different looks that people are going for. And these kids, you have to, like, really please them. They don't want them old styles no more. They want the new stuff. So continuing education is very important.
Right, exactly. And then like I said, none of this starts overnight, but you have to get in your mind where I want to start somewhere. You know, today is a good day to start. You know, it's no moment like the present. So in closing, Didi, do you want to say anything? Cause you in and out.
I am sorry for being in and out. My daughter hurt her knee, so I
Oh,
look. Yeah, she was with her dad and she hurt her knee. But I just want to say I agree with everything y'all said about it. I have y'all on my speaker in my other room, but and I apologize for being in and out. She really hurt her knee. We think we're gonna take her to the hospital.
oh, okay.
What you guys said about credit, I totally agree. I totally agree. It's all one step process. I'm not gonna be long winded, but I agree with what y'all said. And I just want to say thank you, Kalani, for choosing me to be a part of this great broadcast because I believe that we've reached a lot of people in the time that we have been on. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I believe so too. Like I say, this whole month was by God, the man just teaching an asset, teaching people how to teaching men and women that they have to think highly of themselves for other people to think highly of them and push themselves out there. And if you don't believe in nobody else, you have to believe in you. You have to edify yourself so you can go out in the world and do what needs to be done. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you to my panelists, Lee, Lisa,
Yes, thank you.
Allie in her absence. I'm so grateful for you guys. And this ends up becoming an asset. Thank you guys. Good night.
Good night.